Yeah, it's weird. Hello. Welcome to the Do Nothing Project. Everybody hear me okay? I keep trying to do this. I'm using my phone, not my iPad, and I keep trying to do this in landscape, but then it won't let me do it, which is really annoying. I don't think these look as good, the up and down ones, watching them later, but who cares? Does anybody have a preference? I'm assuming that people can hear me. Um, uh, Video's clear though. Yeah, so no one really cares if it's sideways versus up and down. YouTube likes vertical. I guess that's what Andrew's saying. I guess that's why. Anyway, nice friends. Andrew, thank you for moderating. Good to see everybody. My name is Jeff. I will be your host for this edition of the Nothing Happening Project. And with me, besides Andrew, is Gabriel, Paul, Cashew, Arlene, Bonnie, Fred, Emily, Ruth, Isabel, Brooke, Bob, S. Quinn, Kim, Mitch, various other names that I didn't say at the beginning, and many people who are not typing in their hellos, and many people watching it after. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the community. It's so great to do this. If you've never been to the Do Nothing Project before, it's basically blah blah blah, saying a few things. Sometimes very little because I'm so wiped out. Because I usually just put my kids down, but today's daylight savings, so my kids got to sleep early. So I had time to just relax here, do a meditation before the meditation. Oh, this plant's got some dead leaves. Grooming my plant. Live action. So all kinds of live action things happen here, like plant grooming. You just witnessed other high octane, exciting things like my eyes closed, everyone else's eyes closed. Sometimes they're open. Sometimes you might see lights of a car passing on the street, like just now. Did you see that? So you get the idea. Not much happens. Um, a little bit of intro, 25-minute guided practice, which you can ignore. And that's it. Do it every week. And we've been doing it for a long time. We got our friends here, all our regulars. So I had a theme for tonight. Often I have no theme, but maybe because I had time to prepare. Meaning a few minutes, but it's more like something I noticed in my own experience that I kind of was working on through the week, and it's been helpful. That's related to this, and that is so I was solo parenting this weekend for the first time. My uh, beloved wife and partner Sarah, she finally got a weekend away from Sasha. She's not had a weekend away from Sasha since he was born a year and a half ago, and the only time she's ever had away from Eden is when he's been at my parents' place. So she got a whole weekend in Montreal to be with her friends, and it was amazing for her and terrible for me because both kids got super sick. They were already sick, and it was like lots of dysregulation in the nighttime and dad out running from room to room. But you know, putting in my time. But anyway, one of the things I noticed this weekend was when I was with Sasha, my youngest. Um, this can be kind of hard to explain this. There's this like intensity of like wanting to like eat his face. It's like the baby's so cute, consume them, and I have that feeling all the time with both of them. And I've always in my mind been like, oh yeah, it's just passion. It's like just being a passionate person, and that's part of life. And I do think that's true that we have these passions. But I realized that it was also a kind of craving or deep wanting that was covering up the moment. It was like I was covering up Sasha in my own stuff about. It was like I was spreading me all over Sasha, and I wasn't really seeing Sasha. I wasn't really connecting to what he wants, and he likes hugs, but he probably doesn't want me to like all the time. And so when I notice that energy, I just back off from it, and it's this completely different way in which I start relating to my kid. Um, I just a much better observer of them. I'm just happy to be with them as they are. The is like I need it to be a certain way, And it's not just with my kids. It's I get home at the end of work or something, and I'm like, I'm so uh, tired and but also so low level, just like I don't know, dissatisfied or something that I need to like find the right movie. And I got all these stakes. It's got to be a good movie. And like I'm watching the movie and it sucks, and I'm like, shit. It's like all this suffering. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I got to make the movie be good. It has to count. But it's ridiculous. If I notice that and just let go of it, oh, it just is what it is. It's a good movie. It's a bad movie. I mean, there's so many other ways this shows up and points and to this. And what it reminds me of is sort of like what I would see a lot in the party scene back in the day, like which was the kind of way in which drugs and alcohol and partying kind of had diminishing returns. Like the longer you were at it over the years, the more drugs people would have to take or whatever, the more stimulation people would need in order to get happy about the situation. And it was so obvious. It was like a hungry ghost situation. You're the hungry ghost. You keep needing to up the ante to get the same kind of dopamine release or whatever. And it's a bit like that with these things. It's like whatever it is, it's like you have to keep. There's a way in which my pattern is that I have to keep upping the ante in order to feel good about my life, unless I can notice that pattern happen, and I can just. And what's interesting is I can drop it in a moment. As soon as I notice it, oh, I'm spreading myself all over the situation. I don't really need to do that. Drop it down. Then there's just the situation. So that's the theme we're going to explore tonight. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Um, uh, yeah. This is probably why I don't normally do much intro talk at the beginning. It's good for everybody here that I come late. My kids just jump right into it. But I do think it'll be fun to kind of offer this prompt around. Even as you sit here, are you very subtly starting to kind of spread yourself all over things, spread your own agenda? It's like it seeps outward from your face. It's like all of a sudden you're just a little dissatisfied, or you're like wishing it was this way or doing this. And if you notice any part of that in which you're spreading yourself over the scene, spreading yourself over the mind and body, can you just let it go and just let world, body be what it is? That's it. Don't spread yourself all over everything, friends. I mean, you can. It's part of human nature, but, suffering, suffering, suffering. Here we go. Hello to all the Jeffs I see in the comments. All right, friends. So, that was a lot of blabbity blah. You do not need to listen to anything. You can put the volume down, just do your own version of nothing, or you can follow along with these basic prompts. Like starting with a few slow breaths. And then notice the feeling of the body breathing. And notice what else is here. We'll check in. Oh, yeah, maybe the body's feeling a bit tired. Maybe there's lots of thoughts or very few. Check in with the situation too. Is there relatively quiet and space around me, or maybe there's noise? Whatever's here, just okay, this is what's here. This is like the assessment. I'm just going to let it all be like that. One thing I am going to do is, well, I mean, you can just sit and exist and not do anything. Just let your awareness be open and broad and you don't do anything. That's a great option. I always like to start, though, with a bit of settling, deliberate, sort of like deliberate snuggling into a sensation, like I snuggle into the feeling of the breath, just to give myself something to do at the beginning and to help with the settling, or maybe I snuggle into a sound or another sensation in the body, like the fingers or the seat. You can do some snuggling now if that appeals, or just sit and be. Yeah, super patient here at the beginning. Mind wanders off, you notice you come back, re-snuggle into the sensation. And this, I like snuggle's not a bad word for it because it's like you're kind of choosing to find it sort of enjoyable. You're kind of letting yourself get a bit absorbed in something very simple. It's not exotic, it's just this simple, neutral thing that ends up maybe revealing a kind of pleasurable aspect or an enjoyable aspect or something that you can appreciate. Just filling up the real estate of consciousness with something very simple, unifying. And really, as part of this, we're letting the sensation take the lead, the sound, letting it be primary, letting it just be what it is, and sort of an act of respect to let that be enough. So notice if you're tuning into it in that way, or if there's some way in which you're going to get something out of it, some way you're spreading an agenda over it. The only real agenda we need is just this commitment to be present for what's here. Can you find something enjoyable without needing it to be enjoyable? As we meditate, you might be able to sometimes, you might notice that quality can come in, a kind of desire for the practice to be a particular way, or like, I really need this. I need this to work. I need this to be like this. And if you can notice that, if there is anything like that, what would it feel like to kind of back off from that a bit, sort of ease off, just letting everything be what it already is? Breath coming on its own, sounds coming on their own, other sensations, world just doing what it's doing. Okay, kind of nice to not have to expend energy wishing or making it any other way. the last couple minutes. So we've kind of been noticing just being with what's here, being in the world, body in the world, kind of noticing when you start spreading your face all over everything, your mind wanting things a particular way. But here at the end, we're deliberately going to spread ourselves all over everything. We're going to spread some love all over the place. So just maybe that visual even works for you, but just as different people come into your mind's eye, or you think of different people in your life. It can be animals and kids and coworkers, friends. It can be places, objects, plants. Just taking some extra few beats here to connect to a sense of appreciation, gratitude, friendliness, whatever flavor works for you right now. But kind of lingering on each person or each object, noticing the details, like caring about the particulars, and then maybe a thank you or just a feeling of appreciation, whatever. For this thing, this person as they are, not as we want them to be, wish they were, as they actually are. Yeah. Appreciate you. Did I disappear or something? Me too, Valentina. Big time. Such an agonizing situation. Thanks, friends. Paul, Bonnie, Angela, Mitch, Sheila, Pay. Good to sit with you. Julie and Emily, Ruth, Sonali, Christina, Daniela, Meg, Brett. Oh, appreciate all of you. So good to be connected. Good to, that was a really good meditation for me. Because I could really just sink into that. My God, I'm just like, why don't I do this every day? I know why. This, they're called Eden and Sasha. But anyway, I'm glad to hear these good reports. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I'll have some news to share here in the next sometime in the next few weeks. Some changes happening around how I do things and starting to offer more out to the world that's not behind a paywall. So, meaning not behind, I'm still doing stuff for Calm, 10% Happier, but I've been wanting to do more um, and create a kind of library of practices for everybody. Kind of like what Do Nothing Project is, but a little more, but shorter and more thought through. So something like that's going to roll out soon. And in the meantime, thanks everyone. Have a good Sunday night, Monday morning, whenever it is you watch this later in the week. I'll see you next Sunday. Thanks, Andrew. Oh, yeah, don't forget, Andrew also has a Wednesday meditation, and the CEC has a meditation on Monday. So there are good options.